Hey guys, welcome to our channel. This is Next Level Canine Schnauzer Training. This is going to be a DIY video on how to properly trim out your Schnauzer. She is a standard Schnauzer. She's 35 pounds, female, and we've been at this for 21 years. This is our fourth Schnauzer, so we're really good at it. And I'm going to show you some quick pointers on how to do it and do it quickly. First thing you want to do, if you're going to do it yourself, you need to have the proper gear. We've got several different brushes here. I have some starter brushes, and then I have all the way down to some finishing brushes, and that'll come in later on. I don't like corded trimmers. I do like the battery operated, and I do have two. I've got some thinning shears, and then I've got just some regular clipping shears, scissors. So we're going to go ahead and get started. One important thing that you need to do with your canine is to exercise them, run them out. Get the gas tank on empty, if you will. Otherwise, they're going to sit up on this table and they're going to be pretty amped up. So what you want to do is run them so that they're more compliant when you do the grooming. So in just a second, I'm going to get ready and we're going to start the video. We're going to keep it toned down to about 8 minutes if I can do it. We're going to start here at the hindquarters, and then we're going to finish up at her face right here. We'll brush her out and you can see the end results. Be right back in a second. Hey guys, here we go. We're going to bust this out real quick. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to give her a once over. Do a good job just brushing her out, and this gets any tangles or anything, just slicks her out, if you will. Okay, so we're going to turn her around. Be still. And this isn't hurting her. She gets this all the time. All right, here we go. Be still. We're going to go ahead and start with the number 4, and I can pretty much do the whole Schnauzer with the number 4. So here we go. I always start at the hindquarters. And if you use the proper guard, you don't have to worry about cutting her junk. I personally don't like going anything less than that because it'll cause the dog to be real itchy. So I stay with the same guard on both trimmers. And because the dog's hair is overlapping and running, it's got a cowlick in it, you're going to have to go in several different directions. And on the finishing, we're going to go ahead and use some scissor work, get some scissor work in there, and we're going to get rid of these lines. We're going to fade them in, okay? Now, once you're done with the hindquarters, which is pretty simple, we're going to come back. This is a preference. This is how I like to do it. My wife and I, we're gearing up to do some dog shows. So it's a preference on how you want to trim your Schnauzer out. Some breeders will, some groomers will want to go down. They'll blend it in, and I just don't feel like it's necessary for what we're doing. I'm going to run it down her back. Since I'm done with her hindquarters. And I do realize that I could be grooming with some high dollar stuff. This is stuff that I got on Amazon. And as you can see, you don't need high dollar stuff to turn out a really good haircut. The other factor is if you're trying to cut your dog and they haven't had a bath in a minute, they're going to have some oil and grease build up, just debris in their coat, and it's going to make it harder to trim them out. So if you're going to cut your Schnauzer, then you need to go ahead and give give her a bath the day before, knowing that today you're going to give her a haircut, because it makes it a lot easier. My wife and I have had 4 schnauzers in 21 years. And at first we were paying to have a groomer groom our pets, and she did an amazing job. But because of the cost factor, I learned how to do it myself. Now I'm going to pause when we get up towards the neckline, and I'll come back and finish that up. I like to do her face last because at the time that I'm wrapping it up, she's just about had enough. So she'll sit idle for me to do around her ears and face, and then that's about it. So when you do groom your schnauzer, you do need to get on it, and then just stay pinned down. Go with it. Don't stop, because they have a very limited time that they're going to sit still. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've gotten to a stopping point, okay? I reiterated last time that if you do decide to trim your schnauzer out, wash and condition them the day before you do the hair cutting, because it will make it so much easier. The hair will just come right off. And always follow a pattern, okay? I'm gonna finish up her face last, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop the guard off, and I'm gonna show you the easiest way to trim out your schnauzer's feet. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the foot, and you're just going to make a ball like that, okay? You're going to turn it on, and you're going to have to be quick, and you're just going to kind of follow around, okay? If you don't trim out your pet's feet and pads, it's going to be very uncomfortable for them. I'm not going to get it all out because I groom her all the time, but I'm going to sort of just sneak in there real quick. She doesn't care too much for it, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. But because I do trim her out quite frequently, it's never an issue. She lets me do it, and it's not uncomfortable for her. And you don't want to get too close to the pad, okay? You want to just kind of sneak in there real quick, make a ball, and just go right on around, just like that. All right? And this will make it a lot more comfortable for her when she's just walking around, and a lot more sanitary, okay? All right, I'm gonna move on to the front paws, and then we're gonna finish up at her snout, at her face. All right, one more step is after you've trimmed out her pads, you're going to have a little bit of finesse in the electric shear. You're going to turn it on without the guard, and this is what you're going to do. You got to be quick, but you also got to be accurate. So here we go. I'm going to do 2 paws for you, and then we're going to pause for a second before we get into her face. Here we go. Basically, all I'm doing is just shaping them up if I have happened to miss a little spot. That's it. I've already gotten in between the pads, and I'm just tightening her up a little bit. And a lot of times if you use that same technique that I showed you, you'll nail it about 90-something%, and then you'll have to do less of this. We're doing this for sanitary reasons, and because the pet, your schnauzer, it's uncomfortable. So we're gonna you got one more. Put your weight down. All right, so that's it. Now you gotta also imagine that after her grooming, she's gonna get a little butt bath. She's gonna get a shampoo and condition, and all of this is gonna lay down, and it's gonna get very, very fluffy. All right, so I'm going to get about 98% perfect, and then the rest of it's just going to blend back in when she gets a little bath. In just a moment, we're going to do her snout. All right, now this last step that we're going to do, we're going to grab her by the muzzle, and we're going to be able to control her. Every schnauzer is going to be a little bit different. We like to grow hers out a little bit. So come here, it's okay. And we're going to go with it. Here we go. In just a second, she'll calm down and she'll let me do it. Also, remember to do the bridge of the nose. It's a sort of a feathering, it's finesse. I'm not digging in, I'm just sliding it across the brim of the nose. And then right here, it's a little bit tough at this angle, but I'm just gonna come in here and just zip down gently. She trusts me. She's gonna be still. She wants to earn that treat. And there you have it. Now, one last thing that I want to do since she's behaving is I want to be sure to get her ears. I'm going to pop the guard off and I'm going to crust her ears like this. And this is going to be quick. I'm just shaping up the inside of the ear a little bit just to make sure she doesn't get any overgrowth going on. We don't want anything living inside her ears. So we're going to keep it trimmed up, and we're going to also wipe this out later on her bath. When she gets a bath, we'll get in there, not too far, but we'll get in there and clean that out just a wee bit. All right, so here we go. Just cup it, just to control her head. No guard, so you have to be careful, and you're just going to zip it out like so. You're done.